I've been getting lots of requests for more Kim Kardashian looks. And you know, if I'm going to do a celebrity look, I don't think you need to look like the celebrity. I think the point of the celebrity look, I mean, Ember does kind of look like Kim Kardashian, whether she wants to or not. The point isn't necessarily looking just like them. It's concentrating on what makes their look specific and you doing those type of things. Also, I've gotten a lot of requests for a Kim Kardashian smoky eye look, and what is specific about her when she wears a smoky eye is it's always very metallic, a deep metallic shade, and she doesn't darken next to the eye quite as much as many people do with a smoky eye. So on Ember, for her smoky eye, I'm actually going to lighten with a concealer pencil the inside wet tissue of her eye, because that is what would make it more of a Kim Kardashian smoky eye. Like with any other smoky eye in this makeup tutorial, I'm going to do the dark to the light effect. I really want her to have some light at the base. I talk about this as being more wearable. Kim does this on her smoky eye all the time because she doesn't want it to close her eye in, because in reality Kim Kardashian's eyes could close in quite easily. So in order for her smoky eye to work, she does this. I'm going to take a cream beige, and I'm going to go ahead and lighten this inside corner. I do this lots of times with smoky eyes to make them more wearable. This is part of her signature, as I said. Now, most times I'll go over this with just a matte beige. In this case, I'm going to mix a matte and a shimmer, because the whole look with Kim's smoky eye is that shimmery, sparkly effect. You have the longest eyelashes naturally. It's like you have false eyelashes on. They're amazing. Okay, sorry, focus people. I'm now going to go over it with a layer of shimmer and matte. Remember, when you layer shimmer and matte, what you touch first is against the skin, what you touch second is on top. So when I grab my color, I'm going to touch the shimmer first and the matte second. Now I'm going to use a very beigey champagne-y color. If I went too white on Ember, it would look too ashy. So I'm going to layer first my matte beige, then I'm going to put the shimmer on top as I'm applying it to my brush. But this gives you an idea of the kind of colors I'm using. I'm using this for the lightness, but I want that warmth that this color has in order to prevent it from going too ashy on Ember's skin, because she's got a lot of rich olivey deepness to her skin. So I'm going to touch the shimmer first, the matte second, so that the matte is against her skin. And I'm patting it on more than I'm wiping it on to get lots of color there. Shimmer first, matte second. Now I'm going to take a darker matte beige to show you the difference. This is the one I used underneath her lid. This is the color I'm using on her brow bone, because I want to make sure that brow bone is not too light, because then it would overtake. Using a little darker of a beige. And actually, in trend right now, period, with makeup, your brow bone is not as lightly highlighted as your lid. And you could just skip it, but that shadow gives you something to blend with, and you'll notice that after I applied it, it gave me an even prettier edge to her brow. So it does help. There's reasons for having it. I'm now going to take my midtone, and it's just a nice kind of ochre matte midtone. Because of her skin tone, if I went too taupey, it would end up looking ashy. So it has a little bit of an ochre or almondy shade to it. This is what works best. So I'm going to take that nice almondy ochre midtone, and I'm going to start to apply it at the base of the lash line using my number 27 brush. Remember, it's more flexible and pliable, so it gives you that color distribution and blending that you want. Again, starting at the base of the lash line, because we want most of our color, or the most intense application of our color at the base of the lash line. Starting to deepen that lid. And you're going over the area you highlighted because you want to blend that in. You just want that little bit of lightness left there. Okay. Then taking our 28 brush, which is our clean blending brush, we're just going to blend out that edge. Now we're going to do another layer, just for depth. Now remember, whenever you're doing a look, any eye look, you have to have one matte. And so I usually choose it to be my mid-tone. So even though I'm about to put a very metallic-y, shimmery, fun accent for her smoke, by starting with this nice matte mid-tone, it grounds everything and helps shape the eye. Okay, now, in order to kind of get a look at what I'm doing, you know me, I've got to see some lashes. So I'm going to do a little curling, although Ember barely needs curling. Open and look down for me. I will say that she's one of the few women I've ever been able to say that about. That has not been bronze ebony. Just to get a little more lift at the base, because she has got crazy long eyelashes. You probably never curled, so this is probably freaking you out. This one's easier for you. I mean, your lashes are like you put a strip of false eyelashes on.
Yeah. Most of the people think it's fake.
When God said lashes, you got in line 2 or 3 times. Okay, so we're just going to do a light layer of mascara. We'll do more later. Open and look down for me. There you go. Now you'll notice that with Ember, all I did was conceal and powder her lid, and then did a little bit of foundation above her brow so I could put her brows on. Because I'm doing a smoky eye, I did not want to do her foundation first. And because we're doing a Kim Kardashian look, it's really about what you're highlighting and contouring. So I really wanted to save to do it at one time. So I only did what I needed to do to paint her eyes, because I want to be able to clean up all that I drop from doing the smoky eye so that her foundation will be perfect. All right, now we're going to start with our fun, shimmery color. And I'm going to do a pretty bronzy color because I think it looks so beautiful with her skin tone. Once again, starting at the base, blending it out. Now keep in mind, because we're doing a Kim Kardashian inspired smoky eye, we don't want to make it so intense that we can't see the liner, because she is all about that liner. Blending it out. I think you can really see why it was important to highlight the inside corner in doing this, because by keeping that area lighter, it really is helping keep the eye open. Now I'm going to take that same bronzy shimmery color, and I'm going to just take my 30 brush so I can concentrate a little bit heavier at the base of the lashes to get more color there. You'll notice that I'm kind of patting the color on and then blending it out, so I get the main part of that color right at the base. And then blend it up and out. Now I'm going to go ahead and brush off some of this excess that's fallen. Eventually I'm going to clean it off completely with eye cream. But I don't necessarily want to look at it. All right, now I'm going to line. Look down for me. Just keeping it as close to the lash line as possible. We're going to come back with shadow and a brush. So if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. It's just you get an intensity from liner that you can't get from just shadow. Now we're going to take our, using number 18 brush, some matte black shadow. We're going to go, open and look down for me. We're going to go right over what we lined, just scrubbing that color into the base to blend everything out. And when you get to the outer edge, take that brush. After you scrub it down, barely pull up. So you just feather out that line just ever so slightly. Barely feathering it up, giving us a little bit of blend. But remember, signature to Kim, even on a smoky eye, is that liner, so we want to make it still visible, but we want to blend it out slightly. Now normally, for any Kim Kardashian look, you would have to follow it with huge false eyelashes. But Ember has them naturally. So we're going to just go over her lashes with a really good cut of mascara. One of my favorite lashes for the Kim Kardashian look is a MAC number 35s. A trick about this lash, though, is I just was reminded by talking to Ember, you've got to curl the lash before you use them. Otherwise, they're kind of weird because they stick out. They don't really have a curve to them, and they won't lay as pretty. So curl the lashes at the base, the false lashes. Also, one of the things, after you do a smoky eye, before I start my mascara work, I'm going to just run a brush right along her lashes to knock off any color that her lashes have caught, which is quite common that they will. And if you don't knock it off before you finish, as she goes through the evening, the day, if she's a wild woman and wears a smoky eye during the day, you will start to have drippage, and it will get down onto your foundation, and you won't have the perfection that you created there originally. Okay, so now I'm going to start to do mascara. I'm going to use, at this point, I am going to use a building mascara. Instead of my usual defining. Look down for me. I'm just going to start to really do a nice, good coat. Blink anytime you need to. Coat of mascara. It does, isn't it bizarre? It has, they put perfume in it. Normally mascara smells bad because it has that kind of like that funky chemically smell. This has, it's the bizarrest thing. It still kind of freaks me out every time I use it because when I first open it, it's like, because I'm not used to mascara smelling good. Oh, I never forget the first time someone had me smell mascara and it was like, ugh. Because I'd never thought to smell it. Combing them after you've put the mascara on there because we're just using mascara and we're using a building. So we want to make sure they stay nice and separated. Combing it while it's still wet. And really make sure to get those inside lashes down for me. To really give you the volume you need all the way across to make everything look its best. And if you were wearing false, make them really blend well. Now I'm going to clean up everything we dripped. Look up for me. First by knocking off the majority of it. Then I'm going to take eye cream. Make it nice and clean, as well as moisturize that area. I know. And that's what came off of it. So now you know why it's so important to clean it up afterwards. Because there's no way. I mean, you can try to be perfect about it, but with a smoky eye, they're just, everything goes everywhere. You've got so much color going on. All right, now remember we're doing a Kim Kardashian look, so it's all about highlighting and contouring. And you've even seen on the internet all her pictures of highlighting and contouring. I'm first going to start by starting to apply her natural shade all over her face. Getting some nice, good coverage and giving us something to blend our highlight and our contour with. Always, when you're going to highlight and contour like we are for Kim Kardashian look, you've got to have your natural shade on first for it to blend with. So just a nice thin layer. Layer of her natural shade. Now we're going to start with our lighter highlight shade. And I'm going to take, look up for me, and I'm going to start to apply it to the areas we want to be highlighted. It's underneath the eye. Look straight into that camera with your face, and you can see how much that brightens her face and starts to create that shape. So that's our goal to highlight. So I'll do the other eye. It's all an illusion, people. It's all an illusion. Then we're going to take a darker shade, and we're going to contour. Now I'm going to take just a tiny spit on my sponge. I'm going to start to apply it where I want it, right underneath that cheekbone. Just really accentuate the cheekbone. I'm going to blend it out.
So soft.
Yeah, these sponges are amazing.
Yeah.
Then a tiny bit, more than I want, on the temples. And don't worry, I'm going to reinforce all this with powders. Powder bronzer, highlight powder. Okay, so now we're going to reinforce that highlight as well with powder. Look up for me. So I'm going to use my highlight powder. It's a non-shimmer highlight powder in my highlight areas, underneath the eye, on top of the cheekbone. Just patting on some. I'm going to take a new sponge. Just a little bit down the center of her nose. And the tip of her chin. Then I'm just going to use her natural shade everywhere else. And blend out where I highlighted. looks right at me. I will say I'm not thankful to Kim Kardashian for much, but I am thankful to her for teaching women that powder is a good thing. And now I'm going to go back with a little bit of bronzer. Now, you want to keep it right, because I'm doing a very deep one, right underneath that jawbone, and then blending it out and up onto the temple. Using my number 73 brush, because it gives you a very controlled application. Taking number 11 and doing a little bit on the side of the nose, up into the brow.
You use dark powder for inside the nose.
Yes, this is what makes your nose look more.
Tiny.
Yeah, not that you have a big nose, you don't. But even on someone that does, she doesn't have a big nose, but for a Kim Kardashian look, it's very contoured. But even on everybody, for me, the face isn't one-dimensional. It's got curves and shape. And when you put foundation on, it kind of flattens everything out. So going back and putting a tiny bit of bronzer along your nose gives it a shape back to the face.
Good trick.
Yeah, because otherwise you just make everything one flat color. And that's what makes it look like you're made up versus, I mean, no one's going to claim this look is natural, but because we did a smoky eye, but it's what makes the skin look natural if you're, when you're wearing foundation. Now I'm going to finish the eye up. Now just to be safe, because I'm still using some dark colors, and it'll give me a little bit extra highlighting, I'm going to do a tiny bit of powder and leave it kind of heavily on there so that I can go back and just brush it off at the end to catch any of the eyeshadow that might drip. So I'm going to first start with my mid-tone, just that nice almondy color. Look up. I'm going to brush it right along the lash line to start to create color. Not going all the way across because I don't want to really deepen the inside corner, so just stopping short of it. And using it on the other eye. Then I'm going to take my number 18 brush, some matte black shadow. Look up for me. I'm going to go right at the lash line and just wiggle it back and forth to deposit some color, because we want to keep this color tight. Then we're going to highlight the inside corner, which is not normal for a smoky eye. Using a little bit of our, look up, our shimmer and our matte mixed together. Then I'm going to take a Q-tip, a little pointy Q-tip. I'm going to dampen it. I'm just going to clean off that inside ledge before I go to highlight it. Just run it right along it. There's very little there, but there's a tiny bit.
This one for cleaning inside of the eye?
Yes, this is for getting like little bitty detailed things, which is why it has a point. Then I'm going to take my concealer pencil and I'm going to apply it to that inside ledge. You always want to do this before you do your bottom mascara, so that if you get this on some of those lashes, we can go back over it with mascara. And you can see how that opens the eye back up. Once again, a stereotypical Kim Kardashian trick. Well, I should say her makeup artist trick. Let's be clear, Kim doesn't paint herself. Look up for me. We're going to do mascara on the bottom lashes. I'm going to take a nice peachy shade, smile for me, and apply it to the apples of the cheek, nice peachy blush, to give her that pop of glow. Okay, then our final step in our Kim Kardashian-esque smoky eye is going to be a very, very nude lip. So the first thing you always want to do is just lightly conceal away or conceal the edges of your lip. And you'll notice that with Kim on her lips, she never has an edge to them at all. And since Ember has some natural edge to her lip with her color, naturally, I want to really get rid of that color that she has. And then I'm just going to go over it with a really beigey, sandy lip gloss. Almost the exact color of her skin tone. So if you're doing it at home and you're paler skin toned, which many of you probably will be, use a paler lip gloss, because this would end up showing up as a color on you. God, now you really do look like Kim Kardashian. Okay, whenever doing a smoky eye Kim Kardashian look, the important things to remember about the eye, we still want to do a smoky eye, but for it to be signature to Kim, we want to keep this area lighter, even though everything else is going to be smoked out. We also still want a line to the top of the lids. The smoky shadow isn't quite as smoky. Also, you're still going to line the inside wet tissue of the eye with a light shade that's kind of signature to her as well. With the face, we still want to highlight and contour because that's so much a part of what her look is about. Highlighting the forehead, down the nose, all this flat area of the face, the tip of the chin, and then we're going to contour those folds so that it gives us that shape that we're looking for the face. All right, so just for reference, here's the colors that we used. We used a beige cream shadow, beige matte cream shadow first for that inside corner. Then we used a matte cream and a matte beige and a shimmery beige as the highlight, and then a darker beige for her brow bone, and then we used a very almondy ochre mid-tone because her skin tone is nice and rich and dark, Then we used a very metallic-y, coppery contour shade to create the smoky eye. Then lining with black, and then, of course, a very beigey nude lip. A little bit of peach on the cheeks as well. Now we're gonna go away, take her hair down, make her more Kim Kardashian-esque, and come back with her final look.